Okay, so now that we've gone over some of the examples with the Warrior Forum signature um, and using Bitly, one of the things that you can do is um, actually tie in analytics, Google Analytics, with your email responder. If you're into building lists, which I highly recommend you do in your niches, um, one of the things you can do is actually pass information, in this case from an email platform, through all the way to Google Analytics to track what's happening. Now, I will throw in the caveat that Google Analytics does not capture any personally identifiable information. That being said, you're technically able to pass personally identifiable information like a username or an email or anything like that that identifies a session, a traffic session to a person. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to technically show you how to do it, and there's a lot of different uses that you can do. So what we're going to do is use a combination of the URL builder along with, in this case, I'm going to use Aweber, which is, I have an account there, so obviously it makes sense to use that. Let me log in real quick, and I'm going to have to hide some of this information. But we'll come into a message, and we're going to add a new message. Okay. So let's think about what we're doing here. What we want to do is, if you have an email list, ideally you have a name and an email at a bare minimum. Sometimes you're tracking other information. What we're going to do in this case is let's say we're sending an email out to your list because you did a brand new video that you're providing a lot of great content to help build your reputation and let people know that you're a guru or an expert in your field. But you want to track exactly you know who came in and did what they did on your website. Platforms like Aweber and GetResponse or any of the email platforms out there, they give you all the generic reporting that you would expect, right? How many people actually received it? What are the bounce rates, hard and soft? What was the open rate if they actually allow for images to be served? What was the click-through rate? That's all great. That's all helpful to see if that campaign was successful, but that's half the story. Half the story is getting them to your website. The second half of the story, more importantly, is did they do what you wanted once they were on your website? So that's what we're going to be able to track. So in order to do that, let me just put in some fake information here, blah, blah. What I want to show you is using, as I mentioned, using the URL builder with data that you have from your email autoresponder. So let's say I wanted to push traffic back to my site, which would make sense because they already signed up for my website. But let's say I did. Let's say that this is going to be from, what we want to do is this is going to be, our medium is from our email. Our campaign source can be anything that we want. Maybe I'm doing a promo. Now, here is, you can use the campaign name or term or content, but for now, I'll just put in email as a placeholder. We're going to generate this URL. I'm going to highlight it all, copy it, then I'm going to bring this over to Aweber and paste it in here just to show you what we're doing. Okay, so here's that link that we're going to pass. We're going to send them to the home page. The source is going to be a promo. The medium is via email, or the source could be Aweber. It could be whatever you want it to be. And you don't have to keep generating it. You can just come in here and type it. It's up to you how you want to structure your campaigns. And then the UTM campaign is email. Okay, so I told you this was just a placeholder. What we're going to do is we're going to delete the campaign here. We're now going to come in, and on Aweber you can pass it in. They all have it. Is personalization fields. And so here, because I'm going to pass email, it could be username, it could be whatever you want it to be. I'm going to actually put email in here, and you'll notice it put in the Aweber syntax for email. So let's do this just to show you what it looks like. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put in. There's two ways. One is to actually put the link in here. This is where it would be tricky because all of that gobbledygook looks kind of weird to a person. So let's say you're sending them click here for free videos. You can highlight this. You come up to the text link, and because we copied this big long URL, we'll put that in the window. or in the URL here. You notice that it has the email at the end. Choose insert. It is now a link, right? So let's say, as just an example, Jeff, here is some information on videos. Okay, and then so what we'll do is we'll actually do a test. So again, what we're doing now is we've pasted in a specialized link that is actually going to be appended with the email address, and that is going to pass through to our tracking so that we can see exactly who actually went through your website or did whatever you wanted them to do. So we choose that. Let's just we don't need to duplicate it. Let me go ahead and save this. It is now saved. We're going to come to our broadcast. And we are going to go ahead and do a test. I'm going to send it to my email address as Jeff. This is the email. We'll just do test. Wait, we actually have to do this one. Yeah, let's keep SEM juice. We'll do send a test. And the email was sent. Okay, so now let's go take a look at what's happening behind the scenes. So if we go to Gmail, I have to quickly log out. Sorry if I'm blurring a lot of the stuff. I'm already giving away a lot of information. I don't want to give everything away. So let me pull open that new email. Okay, so now that we have this email pulled up, I made a quick change and resend it just to show. But what it looks like now is here it is with the linkable text, and if I hover over it and you look down here, again you'll see what that link is. So it's the UTM source Aweber, the medium is email, and the campaign is, in this case, it's the individual email that it was sent to. Here's what it looks like fully resolved, just so you can see it like this. Again, same thing, the source is Aweber, the medium is email, and the campaign now is this individual email. So what would happen is if I click on this, and after it takes a couple hours for analytics to update the data, we can actually track to figure out an individual, what did they do on your website. And the way you could do that is by going back to Google Analytics, and if you remember from our other video, we had created an advanced segment, and you can either channelize it so that the actual content source, or the I'm sorry, it was the campaign would be this, or you could even break it down just to say, hey, show me all traffic that's the medium of email or the source of Aweber. The key thing is every single dimension that you pass, whether it's source or medium or campaign, each one of those are different segments that you can do within. I'll do the advanced segments. If you're building a brand new custom segment, and as we create it, what will happen is we have the idea to do traffic sources. So if I could do campaign, if I put campaign in here, now I don't have any that are specific to that email because I haven't clicked on it, but this is where I'd type in or filter out just a single email. Or if I wanted to test all of the Aweber source data or the email medium data, I would be able to do that. So let's get rid of this, and let's throw in source. I think I might even have Aweber up here. So I would do that, but I'm running other campaigns. That's why that's showing up. And this could also be referral traffic. The other one was medium. So if we came in here, we drag and click medium on top of this. This is where I'd put in email. You'll notice I have email on there. Again, I'm running other email campaigns on here, so that's why it auto-populates. So that's how you do it. You use the URL builder to create your URL, to tag it correctly. You use that, and the one key difference on email is you can actually, and this isn't just email. This is just allows you to do it any custom type of segment where you can pass personal data or very, very unique granular level data. This is to the actual person, and put it into a field. That way you can come into Google Analytics and track the behavior of that person. I know it might sound big brotherish, but it's not for that reason. It's so that you can test. You might segment your list where you have customers, individual customers, individual buyers. Maybe there's certain things that you want to track, but the good news is that you can use this data to really, really measure the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns, down to not only to a channel like email, or a source like a specific email provider like Aweber, but also to the individual person or anything that's at the, a very, very focused level. So I hope that was helpful.